Hello everyone, I'm Grim, a freelance artist, and this week we're going to do some more world building for the Celestial Train. Specifically, we're going to be designing the look of a passenger on the train that my patrons worked together to write. For folks unfamiliar with the Celestial Train, it's a world-building project I started that revolves around a magical train where passengers travel through it to fulfill their deepest wish. It's like if Infinity Train had a Kirby-themed coat of paint on it with a touch of horror thrown in. This week, I gave my patrons a series of prompts to take turn answering to write this passenger for me. So, my task this week for designing this character is to figure out how to wrangle different elements of what was submitted. I gave my patrons 9 questions to answer, and then I organized those answers on a Miro board to see how they'd all fit together. What we ended up with is a socially awkward Dryad who is aboard the Celestial Train to look for her missing little sister. She's very bubbly and empathetic and used that to care for her younger siblings, putting on a strong face for them at the expense of her own needs. She has the ability to speak with animals and minor control over nature. After her little sister went missing, she blames herself for not keeping a close enough eye on her, and while flipping through a family photo album, she found a ticket for the Celestial Train. She wasn't too sure what to make of it at first, but kept it on hand anyway. Later, this Dryad decides to venture into town for the first time to get help looking for her sister. However, when she steps out of an elevator, she finds herself stepping onto the Celestial Train instead. She's not really sure what's going on, but the ticket taker quickly catches her up and explains that she can find her sister on this train if she's brave enough to travel through. And, well, she is a good older sibling who puts on a brave face. Of course, she decides to trust the ticket taker implicitly, perhaps not really understanding that this isn't how an investigation into a missing person is supposed to go, and that trains do not belong inside of wherever she went to file this report. But it's fine. It's fine. She's a Dryad. She lives in the woods and doesn't know how human civilization works. As far as her design goes, I decided I wanted to pull from the idea of a Kodama, a Japanese nature spirit similar to a Dryad, which sometimes takes on the form of ghost lights and humans. I thought this would be fun so I could give her a more spiritual form. I also saw that there was a story of a Kodama taking on a human form to meet with a human they fell in love with, and I thought maybe bending that to have a more spiritual form to go out and look for her little sister would be fun. I also wanted her plant motifs to be a flower that closes up at night to reflect her being bubbly and kind, but closing up when it comes to herself. The flower I found that did that is the Japanese morning glory. And that's our first passenger on the Celestial Train. I hope that you enjoyed this different way of designing a character and building up a bit more lore for the setting. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos from me, feel free to like and subscribe, maybe even leave a comment or suggestion. Or, of course, I have more videos about the Celestial Train if you're interested. Otherwise, I'll see you all next week with whatever I decide to make next. Bye-bye!